Hi, I'm Nick Davis, owner of Genesee Valley Media, and today I'm going to be giving you a very quick tutorial on how to take amazing product photos like this using just your cell phone. So for the purposes of today's video, let's say that I want to be selling my antique cameras on eBay. Now I need to take high quality images for my camera to entice people to buy it. And I don't want to hire, a professional photographer for this, and I'm going to show you why you don't need to do that. And like I said before, you only need your cell phone. So instead of just taking an image of this camera on the table, just putting your camera over it and clicking with that, I want to show you how to really set up your shot to make this camera pop out and really get into all the cool features on the outside of this camera and entice people to buy it. So remember, we're just using our cell phone. Let's get started. So for this training, I'm going to show you how to do everything in auto. Normally, most photographers, they're going to yell at me, but realistically, not everyone is a master photographer. But I will show you one little trick here. So most of the time, when you get your cell phone, automatically it's in 16:9 aspect ratio. So we're going to just switch that to 4:3. And it'll be right on the side when you open up your camera. You can see when I toggle back and forth that it's the same image, it's just pushing in on it. So that means you're losing quality because it's zooming in to get that wide aspect ratio. So we want it in 4:3 so we have the most information to play with when we bring it into Instagram later to edit. So right now, I just have the camera there. And we can take a picture of that and bring it up. And it looks okay, but it's kind of boring, right? So I want to start bringing in lighting and shadows and maybe bring in a couple other cameras as props to point to this and really make this camera pop. So let's start doing that. Let's start bringing the stuff in one at a time, and we'll gradually go on, and I'll show you why bringing more items in and blurring them out in the background will make this camera pop more rather than just taking an image like it is right here. That little extra time is gonna really make the value of this camera seem a lot higher. So I have 3 other antique cameras. This one actually is the exact same without the leather casing around it. I have a little movie camera and an old Polaroid. Wow. So what do I want to do with these? Well, I want to kind of angle them, and I'm just kind of doing this blindly, and we'll check it here in a second. So that's the fun about this, is you can play with what you're doing until you have it perfect the way you want it. But right now I want them pointing in so that this camera is the forefront and it's really popping. But I don't want them too close because I want to have them blurred out. So I think that is going to be just about right. Let's check it out. All right, so you can see here that I kind of like that composure actually. I might just move this one, move slightly closer, back out, and yeah, I think that's great. See, both lenses are pointing directly at this other camera, but the background is still a little bare. So I think I'm gonna add some things to this background, and I have the perfect thing for it. All right, so I figured the perfect thing would be these old, and by old, I mean 3 years old, but already obsolete tungsten halogen lights. And the reason that they're already obsolete is because they get so hot, you could fry an egg on them. So I upgraded everything in my studio and my package to all LEDs. But they look like old film sets. This is what you see when you see old film sets, is the barn door is all the way open. The reason I'm using these is because I had them. So whatever it is that you're selling, more than likely you're gonna have at your disposal to be able to compose your shot and add stuff, add detail in the background. So that's why I'm bringing in everything that has to do with cameras, and it's stuff that I already have. So try to use everything that you have before you go out thinking that you need to buy a bunch of stuff. So let's take a look and see what it looks like now that I added those lights in. Ooh, I like that. But it's a little bright back there. So when I click on this camera, it overexposes the background, but it puts the camera in focus, and that's the main camera that we want in focus. When I click the back, it drops the exposure down so it's not so bright. Exposure is just brightness, but it gets my main camera out of focus. So how are we gonna fix that? Well, see this little light bulb right here? When I tap, let's just bring that exposure down. There we go. That's where I want it. It's not too overexposed. You still get enough light on the camera to really make the dial shine and sparkle. So let's take that image. Boop. And let's just take one with it overexposed, just to see. So when I go back into it, which one looks better to you? To me, it's this one. So I think this is the one that we're gonna edit. Okay, so we have two images that we really like that we wanna bring in to Instagram to edit. Why Instagram? Well, because Instagram's free, and you don't have to post to Instagram to edit the images. So we're just gonna click share, bring it in, crop it. Now, automatically Instagram will bring it up to where it's cropped. So to get around that, just press that right there, boom, your photo's not cropped anymore. All right, so we have a bunch of pre-made filters that you can, ooh, this lumber looks really cool on this antique camera, that you can swipe through. And one of these may work. You might not even need to go into any editing. But let's go back to normal and let's go into edit. So this up here, this little sun, is an auto lux. So that'll bring in and it'll kind of automatically edit your image for you. And it looks nice, so I usually start here. So I'll start at 50% lux, auto, and then from there, I'll see what I need to clean up. So, see, and if you hold your finger down, you'll get a before and after. So I'm gonna add a little bit of contrast just to make it look a little more punchy. Structure will do the same exact thing. So it'll really give you nice, crisp edges and quality. So again, hold your thumb down, let it off for the before and after. So original, edited. You see how it's just kind of popping a little bit more? The saturation is good. I want to bring the shadows up slightly. And then I want to bring my highlights, which you see is a reflection and the brightness on the dials. You can really see it. I want to bring that down just a little bit. About there. So I kind of went half. I went 20 on the shadows and negative 24 on the highlights. You can add a little vignette, and what a vignette is it just darkens down your edges. So I usually like to add just a skosh, say 10. And again, hold your thumb down to see the before and after. Let's go up to 15. Yeah, I like that. You can fade, so fade the image out, which would actually work really well for this because it's antique cameras, so it makes it look like a little older style image. The warmth is, how much warmth are you gonna add to it? Do you want it really cool and cold? Or do you want it nice and warm? Warmth is amazing for food photography, especially. But I like the composition and the white balance of this, so I'm just gonna keep it at 0 and leveled. We could bring the saturation up just a little bit. And I think that from that to that, looks great. And let's go to next. And you can either post it on your Instagram, or you can just close out and Instagram will automatically have it saved. So I'm gonna post, not for sale. Oops, I'm probably the world's worst speller. And share. And then it shows up right in your Instagram feed, or if you were gonna put it on eBay or your website or anything else, you would just go into your gallery and go down to Instagram, because it'll automatically create a folder in your gallery. And there it is. So this is the finished image, and all we used was our cell phone in the auto settings and Instagram. Thank you for joining me for this very quick and very basic tutorial on how to shoot awesome product photographies with just your cell phone and whatever props that you already have available. I know that you probably have a lot more questions, so for the next couple weeks, please feel free to reach out to me at nick@genesee-valley-media.com. I can answer any basic questions you have. If you want to buy lighting, I can let you know what cost-effective lighting that you can get. If you want to buy an actual camera because you think you're going to be doing a lot of product photography, I can let you know that. I can give you a bunch of tips and tricks. And if you have any business-related questions, feel free to reach out to Ruby Laniger, who is the business manager at Accord. Her email is rlaniger@accordcorp.org. Again, thank you so much. I know this was quick and I know it was basic, but I think it'll give you the tools you need to really get the motor flowing on how to take amazing product photography.